All right, so weighted averages. A weighted average is when the set of data has different categories, basically, or weights for the different items. An example of this is our overall algebra grades. We have the different categories. So we have REI is worth 21%, FIF is worth 25%, CED is worth 12%, I believe. All those categories that are on the back wall, those are different weights. So we are using weighted averages every single test when we go to calculate our grades. So from now on, you'll be able to calculate your grade without having to have me or another friend do it. You could do it yourself. So we're going to start. I have a chart here, and it says the Delectable Cookie Company sells chocolate chip cookies for $6.95 per pound. Chocolate chip is $6.95. White chocolate cookies are $5.95 per pound. How many of chocolate chip cookies should be mixed with 4 pounds of white chocolate to obtain a mixture that will sell at $6.75 per pound? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we need to fill in our chart. So our price and our pounds and our price per pound we're going to use. To find my total price, this is my pounds times my price. Okay? So it says let W be the number of chocolate chip cookies. So in the chocolate chip pounds box, I'm going to put a W because I don't know how many chocolate chips we have. That is what we're trying to find. I do, however, know that the chocolate chip cookies sell for $6.95 per pound. So I can put my price as $6.95. Okay, and then my total price would be $6.95 times W, however many pounds I end up having to buy or mix with it. So then I'm told that white chocolate, I have 4 pounds of white chocolate. So I have 4. And my price is $5.95 for the white chocolate. So my total price is going to be $5.95 times 4. If you want to go ahead and calculate that out, that is completely fine. You get 23.80. Remember 2 decimal places because we are talking money. So we always need 2 decimals. All right, so these are my 2 parts. So basically, if you think about it, I have a bag of cookies. And I have, in this part of it is chocolate chip. And this part of it is white chocolate. Okay? I know that there's 4 pounds. I know that there's W pounds there. So total is my mixture. So how many pounds am I going to have total? Well, I'm going to have W plus my 4 pounds. The amount of chocolate and the amount of white chocolate that I have. Okay? I then want to sell it at $6.75 per pound. So my price is going to be $6.75. And then my total price would be $6.75 times my quantity, W plus 4. Okay? So using that, I'm going to set up an equation. Up here it says that mixture problems are where we have 2 or more parts combined into a whole. So I need to write an equation representing the total price I pay for chocolate chip and the total price I pay for white chocolate. And it needs to equal my mixture total. So I'm going to have $6.95 plus $23.80 is equal to my $6.75 times W plus 4. Okay? Remember the $23.80 is just the 5 times $5.95. Okay? So now I need to solve for W. Well, first thing I see is that I have parentheses. I can't simplify these because I have a variable with a number, so I need to distribute. So my next line is going to be 695W plus 2380 equals 675W plus 675 times 4, which would be 27. And you type that into the calculator. I then need to get all my variables to the one side and all my numbers to the other. So I'm going to move my 675W to the other side. So when I subtract out, I have 0.20W plus 2380 equals 27. I then need to subtract out 2380. And I get 0.20W equals 3.20. And then my last step is divide by 0.20. And I get W equals 16. Okay, so remember, W was representing how many chocolate chip cookies I have. So I bought 16 pounds of chocolate chip cookies. Okay. All right, so let's do this first problem. It says, how many grams of sugar must be added to 60 grams of solution that is 32% sugar to obtain a solution that is 50% sugar? So I have two things that are making it up. I'm having 32% sugar and 100% sugar. First, make your chart. So I have 100%, I have 32%, and my goal is to get to 50%. Okay? I have so many grams that I can do. I don't know how many grams I have, so I'm going to define that as X. X is the number, or number of grams of sugar. So remember, if it tells you to define your variable, this is what it's looking for. Tell me what X is representing. Okay, and then I know I have 60 grams of 32% solution. And remember, the 32 and the 100 have to make up the whole thing. So I have X plus 60 for my entire solution. Then to figure out how much sugar is in both parts, 100% is 1 as a decimal, so 1 times X. And then here I'm going to do 60 times 0.32, which is 19.2. And then X plus 60 times 0.5. Remember, your parts have to add up to a whole. So X plus, I'm going to put the 19.2 equals X plus 60 times 0.5. Remember, this 19.2 came from multiplying 60 times 0.32, or 32% of the 60. I then now can solve for X. The first thing I'm going to do is distribute. So 0.5x plus 30 equals X plus 19.2. I then need to get all the X's to one side, all the numbers to the other. So I'm going to subtract negative 0.5x. Sorry, I'm going to subtract 0.5x, not negative. And I'm left with 0.5x plus 19.2 equals 30. Then subtract 19.2. And I get 0.5x equals 10.8. Divide by 0.5. X equals 21.6. And my answer would be I need 21.6 grams of sugar. All right, for number 2, I want you to try and fill out your chart as you would on a test question or homework. I am giving you the headers of your chart and the rows. Go ahead and fill it out now. Okay, now that you have your chart filled out, it should look something like this. So my 15 pounds, my price is $155. When I multiply it together, I get $23.25. I have W pounds. W is the amount of walnuts I need. I'm paying $1.95 and $1.95 W. And then my parts have to add up. So 15 plus W gives me that. I want to pay $1.75, and my total would be this. When I set up my equation, it's going to look like this. So 23.25 plus 195 W equals the 175 times 15 plus W, or if you wanted to distribute out already, 26.25 plus 1.75 W. I then need to solve for W, and I should get W equals 14.75. And that means that I need 14.75 pounds of walnuts to make my mixture sell for $1.75. Okay, so Alice invested a portion of $32,000 at 9% interest and the balance at 11% interest. How much did she invest at each rate if her total income from both investments was $3,200? So she has a salary of $32,000. She's investing in either 9% or 11%. Okay, so we have our rate, we have our money, and we have our total. So she has 9% and 11%. We are trying to figure out how much she invested total in each one. So my 9%, if I say I invested X, where X is amount invested in 9%, my total is going to be 0.09X. Remember, she has $32,000 to invest. So if she put X of it into 9%, that means she took $32,000 and subtracted X from it and put the remaining in the 11%. So the 11% total is going to be the 0.11, because that's 11% as a decimal, times the 32,000 minus X. Overall, I'm not concerned with my rate or how much is there. Granted, we know that this is 32,000, right? I do know that I have to equal 3,200. Okay? So my parts have to add up to my whole, so 0.09X plus 0.11 times 32,000 minus X And that has to equal 3,200. Okay, so then I solve for x, so 0.09x, 0.11 times 32,000 minus 0.11x equals 30. So I have negative 0.02x equals an 11, or 0.11 times 32,000 gives me minus 3,520 equals 30,200. Okay, so all I did was simplify multiplying this out and combining like terms. So then I need to get the 3520 to the other side by adding. So I have negative 0.02x equals negative 320. Then I need to divide by negative 0.02. And I get x equals 16,000. So that means that she invested $16,000 into 9%. And then I could, so 9% has 16,000 invested. And then I can also take that number and plug it in to figure out what my 11%. So 32,000 minus 16,000 is going to equal 16,000. So 11% had also $16,000 invested. So that is what she invested.